Okay, so imagine a power system where being dirt poor actually makes you stronger, where your suffering becomes your weapon, and where you can literally rewrite destiny itself. Yeah, this pathway is insane. Let me explain. Alright, so if you've been following Lord of Mysteries, you know the main story has 22 pathways, right? Well, Book 2 drops this absolute bombshell called the Eternal Aeon Pathway. And trust me, it breaks every rule you thought you knew. First thing you need to understand, this isn't even a normal pathway. It's controlled by an outer deity called the Circle of Inevitability. And here's the kicker. You don't advance by drinking potions like other Beyonders. No, you literally pray to this cosmic entity and it grants you boons. Yeah, you're basically making deals with an eldritch horror from beyond reality. What'd go wrong, right? But here's what makes it truly wild. You know the Wheel of Fortune pathway? That represents chaos, randomness, possibility, the idea that fate is unpredictable. Well, the Eternal Aeon Pathway is the complete opposite. It represents inevitability, predetermined destiny, the idea that everything is already written and there's no escaping it. Think about that for a second. One pathway says anything can happen. The other says what will be, no matter what. Now let me walk you through this pathway, and I promise you, each sequence gets more unhinged than the last. So you start as a Sequence 9 dancer, and I know what you're thinking. Dancing? Really? That's the big scary power? Oh, you sweet summer child. See, as a dancer, your body becomes impossibly flexible. We're not talking Olympic gymnast level. We're talking full-on horror movie contortions that should physically break your spine. Your joints bend in ways that violate basic anatomy. But that's just the warm-up. When you dance, your spirituality radiates outward and merges with the natural forces around you. You enter this transcendent state where you're basically conducting the elements themselves through movement. And you can perform two types of ritual dances. The first is called summoning dance. You dance, and you can temporarily summon nearby spirit world creatures. And here's where it gets dark. You can let them possess you to borrow their abilities. Yeah, you're inviting supernatural entities into your body through interpretive dance. The second type is enigmatic dance, which activates special powers. In the story, some dancers could activate protective symbols just by dancing to suppress monsters and dreamscapes. So yeah, while normal people dance for fun or money, your dancing literally summons creatures from beyond and could end someone's life. Dance battles just got a whole lot more serious. Moving up to Sequence 8, you become an Alms Monk. Translation: professional beggar. Now before you laugh, hear me out, because this is where the pathway's philosophy gets really interesting. Your spirituality massively increases. You become immune to extreme temperatures. You don't need winter coats or summer clothes anymore. But the coolest ability? Luck intuition. You can literally sense people's fortunes. You look at someone and just know they're about to have a terrible week, or that romance is coming their way. You can't see specifics, but you feel the flow of their destiny. It's like having spider sense for fate itself. Oh, and you learn 5 ritual spells. Let me hit you with these real quick. 1. Animal creation spell. You can turn people into animals. Yes, actual animals. There's a whole ritual for this. 2. Transference spell. You can move diseases and misfortune from one person to another. Feeling sick? Just transfer it to that guy you don't like. 3. And this one's creepy. The prophecy spell. You take a corpse that's been dead for at least 7 days, pour this special concoction into it, and temporarily revive it. Then you can ask it 3 questions about the future, and it has to answer truthfully in whatever language you ask. Think about that. You're using corpses as fortune-telling devices. 4. Substitution spell. Find someone to take your place for certain effects. 5. Exorcism spell. Detect ghosts and spiritual entities. But here's the genius part of the sequence. The core philosophy is humility, begging, and preaching. The poorer you are, the more devout you are, the stronger your ritual magic becomes. You're literally weaponizing poverty. The universe rewards you for having nothing. Most power systems say, get rich, get strong. This one says embrace being broke, become unstoppable. That's simultaneously the most depressing and most inspiring thing I've ever heard. Sequence 7 is called Contract T, and this is where you basically become a supernatural Pokemon trainer. Remember how dancers could temporarily borrow powers through possession? Well, now you can form permanent contracts with creatures from the spirit world and other realms. At this sequence, you can maintain up to 5 contracts, though most people stick to 3 because each contract comes with a price and a long-term downside. Let me give you some examples from the actual story. Shadow Burial lets you hide in darkness and create shadow arms to attack enemies. Sound cool, right? The price is you have normal dreams, and the downside is you gradually become more extreme and paranoid. Your personality literally changes. Rebirth. If someone kills you, you get reborn in their body within 2 minutes. That's actually insane. But again, there's a cost. Iron Body metallizes your body so you can tank bullets. Water Cannon. Spray corrosive liquid. Weakening Ray. Ghostly green light that disintegrates whatever it touches. You're collecting abilities like trading cards, possession, invisibility, poison, teleportation, curses. The variety is genuinely wild. But here's the catch. If you pick bad contracts, you might end up weaker than a regular person with a gun. You need strategy. This isn't just about collecting powers. It's about building a synergistic loadout that doesn't drive you insane or kill you from the side effects. Sequence 6, Ascetic. This is where you become the ultimate comeback character. The main ability is called Ritualistic Compression. Basically, you can store spirituality, physical strength, even ritual steps, accumulating them like money in a savings account. And when you release it, you temporarily transform. Your strength and speed become comparable to a Sequence 6 Warrior Pathway Beyonder. We're talking superhuman combatability. You can fight at peak performance for 1 to 2 minutes before running out. But here's what makes this broken. Remember those complex ritual spells from Sequence 8 that took forever to set up? Now you can use them instantly in combat. That animal creation spell that needed a whole ceremony? Just wrap the target in animal skin and speak the incantation. Done. Mid-fight, you just turned your enemy into a pig. The exorcism spell, preload it into an object, and activate it with just the target's real name. So in everyday life, you look like someone who just takes constant abuse. You're enduring, suffering, accumulating. But in battle, you unleash everything in one devastating explosion of power. You're literally the Beyonder World's version of, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Sequence 5, Fate Appropriator. This is where you finally touch destiny itself. When you activate your abilities, you can see this illusory river made of shimmering silver symbols. That's the River of Fate. You can see blurry tributaries representing different possible futures branching off. And here's the insane part. You can steal pieces of people's fate and store up to 3 of them. Let me paint you a picture. You see someone who's destined to win the lottery next week. You appropriate that fate fragment and store it. Later, you apply it to yourself. Boom. You just stole someone's destiny. Or maybe you see someone destined to get hit by a car. You appropriate that fate, save it, and later impose it on an enemy during a fight. They suddenly have the fate of getting into a car accident, and reality itself conspires to make it happen. You could appropriate someone's fate of becoming a puppet and exchange it with their current fate. Instant puppet. The possibilities are genuinely terrifying. You're not just seeing the future. You're shopping for destiny fragments like you're browsing Amazon. Oh, and you can now maintain 12 contracts. Your power collection is getting seriously stacked. Sequence 4, Circle Inhabitant. You gain partial godhood here, and your signature ability is creating loops. You can create cycles of destiny, cycles of causality, cycles connecting past and present, and you can trap people inside these loops. Imagine this. You're fighting someone, and you trap them in a death loop. They die, then the loop resets. They experience dying again, and again, and again. They can't escape because the cycle keeps resetting everything. You've become a designer of destiny's endless maze. You're basically creating your own personal horror movie for your enemies. And now you can appropriate the fates of angels. Yeah, angels. It takes a few minutes, but you can literally steal the destiny of godlike beings. You also get Fate Exchange. Once you have a fate fragment you want, you can instantly swap it with a target, even if the 2 fates are completely unrelated. The logistics don't matter anymore. If you have it, you can force it onto someone else. At this stage, you can manifest your incomplete mythical creature form, though doing so has severe consequences because you're not a full god yet. Sequence 3, Sufferer. And man, this name is accurate. Among the Eternal Aeon's authority over past, present, and future, the Sufferer specifically represents the present moment. You are the now. Your signature ability is called Reenactment, and it's beautifully tragic. You can reproduce all the suffering you've personally experienced onto your target. Every moment of pain, every hardship, every instance of agony you've endured in your life becomes a weapon. Think about the implications. The more you've suffered, the stronger you are. Every terrible thing that's happened to you isn't just trauma anymore, it's ammunition. You're a human suffering converter. The pain you felt, your enemies will experience too. This is the Pathway's philosophy taken to its logical extreme. Your poverty made you strong at Sequence 8. Now your pain makes you unstoppable at Sequence 3. There's something deeply poetic and deeply horrifying about that. You can also set a present state for yourself to resist mental attacks and spiritual corruption. You're anchored in the now, unshakable. Your mythical creature form has 1 head and 2 arms at this stage. Sequence 2, Sinner. You're touching the authority of the past and cause now. Among the Trinity, you represent what came before, and your abilities are reality-breaking. First, you can revert your own state to any moment in your past. Though, for forces involving the uniqueness, the consent of the current wielder is required. In the story, Amon used this to return his state to when he was a dual pathway true god. Think about that. You can restore yourself to a previous save file in the game of existence. Second, you can anchor a target's past sins to catalyze outcomes in the present. Their past mistakes literally shape their current fate. Every bad thing they did comes back to haunt them, not metaphorically, but literally. Third, and this is where it gets absurd, you can implant a virtual cause into the past to influence the present. You're inserting fake fragments into the river of fate's history to change what's happening right now. These false fragments only last about 1 second before reality corrects itself, but 1 second is enough to alter outcomes. You're editing the past to rewrite the present. You're hacking reality's source code. The catch? Your stamina is terrible for a Sequence 2. You've got godlike power, but human endurance. It's like having a Ferrari with a lawnmower engine. Your mythical creature form has 2 heads, 2 bodies, and 4 arms. Sequence 1. Angel of Redemption. You represent the future and result. You are what's to come. You can forcibly create new branches in predetermined destiny. Think of fate as a tree. Even if the main trunk is set in stone, you can grow new branches that weren't supposed to exist. You can lock someone's fate onto a specific path and make certain outcomes inevitable. You're not just predicting the future, you're dictating it. You gain something called redemption instinct, an inherent drive towards salvation and correction. You feel the pull toward making things right. Your mythical creature form has 3 heads, 3 bodies, and 6 arms, but they don't form a complete loop yet. You're almost there, but not quite. To advance the sequence 0, you have to complete the salvation of a catastrophe. You must save people from a major disaster. Your final test is redemption itself. And finally, sequence 0, the Eternal Aeon, true godhood. You wield the full authority of reincarnation, destiny, and inevitability. Past, present, future, cause, process, result. They're all one in your hands. You exist as a massive silvery black giant with 3 heads, 3 bodies, and 6 arms that form a complete circle. The 3 heads represent different states of time. One shows the past, often depicted with malice and rage. One shows the present, sorrowful numbness. One shows the future, compassionate serenity, or blank incompleteness. You are the cycle. You are predetermined destiny itself. And here's your cosmic purpose. You exist to correct the chaotic nature of fate and allow the universe to continue existing normally. Without you, destiny would spiral into complete chaos and reality would collapse. You're the universe's error correction system. You're the failsafe that keeps existence running. So let me bring this all together, because the philosophy here is profound. The Wheel of Fortune pathway says fate is chaos. Random, unpredictable, anything can happen. The Eternal Aeon Pathway says fate is inevitable. Predetermined. What will be, will be. But here's the paradox that should genuinely mess with your head. If everything is predetermined, then your choice to walk this pathway was destined from the beginning. Every contract you make, every piece of suffering you endure, every fate you appropriate, it was all already written. You become powerful enough to manipulate destiny itself, only to realize you are always going to do exactly this. You're both the prison guard and the prisoner of fate. The pathway makes you embrace poverty to gain strength. It makes you weaponize your suffering. It makes you dance with entities from beyond reality. And eventually, it makes you into a god whose entire purpose is to ensure that what is destined remains destined. You fight to change fate while simultaneously existing to preserve it. That's the ultimate contradiction. So here's my question for you. Would you take this power? Would you trade free will for the ability to manipulate destiny? Would you endure poverty and suffering knowing it makes you stronger? Would you dance with fate itself, knowing the music was composed before time even began? Because in the world of Lord of Mysteries, this isn't just philosophy. This is real, and the choice could reshape reality itself. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you walk the Eternal Aeon Pathway? And if so, which sequence sounds the most terrifying to you?